Hey, this is Phoenix. Wanted to quickly get on and talk a little bit about what happened at New York Comic Con this past weekend. Mainly DC, since they basically took over uh, the space with all the incredible announcements. There might have been one Marvel big announcement, but since I'm mostly DC, I'm just gonna focus on that. Starting with, let's see, what do I want to start with? I will start with there's actually quite a few announcements. Um, the biggest one I believe would be involving DC's KO event, where it's sort of like this tournament style with these 1v1s versus characters, all towards what's happening with the Absolute Universe and Dark Side and everything. And there's gonna be these newcomers or like one-offs um, that are multiversal or outside of this universe. And the craziest thing is just these characters that are either Warner Brothers or from other studios coming in to do a one-off, which I don't remember the last time they've done something like this. But as you can see, it's you have Sub Zero, which looks like Bihan. I think it's Mortal Kombat 1 version. Um, Red Sonja, Vampirella, Annabelle, Homelander, and what I just found out was Samantha Strong from the IDW series Beneath the Trees, where nobody sees. Haven't read it. I've looked more into it ever since hearing about it. Overall, I'll just say this is gonna be pretty cool. I mean, the Red Sonya and Vampirella, that's an interesting one. Homelander, of course, is sort of like a of anyone you could get in, like it's like a Mortal Kombat, like who's the DLC character. It's cool to see Homelander is gonna get beaten up, but let's see how far he gets. But yeah, that announcement was just so weird. I saw Scott Snyder posted on his one of his socials, and I just couldn't believe it. But I am excited probably the most about this. So that is the coolest one. Next, will be DC announcing the next part of their an initiative. Uh, right after KO, I believe in March. These quite a couple of series were announced under this where they call it DC Next Level initiative, I guess. Headed, I guess, by Scott Snyder talking about it. And the books that we know of for now, there could be more. Is Batwoman, Deathstroke, Firestorm, Shadow of the Bat. That's pretty crazy. Zatanna, Lobo, the Demon, and Barbara Gordon Breakout. And there's also a picture of the creative teams, some of them, like Greg Rucka, Dennis Camp, Mariko Tamaki, and like Scotty Young. Uh, Greg Rucka is the most interesting one since he's coming back to do Batwoman after 17 years. And like he said on one of the panels, unceremoniously, God, I can't even say that word right, was taken off the book. I forget the reasons behind that, but that's his book. I mean, I remember reading Batwoman. I was like, this is one of the greatest characters. Who the hell knows what happens to her in the last couple of years, where she's been? I haven't read everything, so I think she was on like an Outsiders book a couple years back. But yeah, these books, The Shadow of the Bat in itself is pretty crazy. Just to see that again, like stories. If I forget if you can comment if Shadow of the Bat was if that was the anthology or like the year one stories or was the Legends of the Dark Knight. It's one or the other, but it was one of those books. Um, and technically they brought back Legends of the Dark Knight years ago. Now, like let's say years ago, like 2021 or something. But this is also pretty cool. Just to see Batwoman's the biggest one, but the Tana too. That's pretty cool. The Barbara Gordon one is actually interesting too, because I'm just like I don't know what they're gonna do with her now. Like, is she going back to being? She probably won't be Batgirl if they're calling it Barbara Gordon. So, and what was the other one? Oh, this I don't know if this was technically brought up during New York Comic Con. Might have been right before, but with the recent Batman Deadpool crossover and the next one coming in November next year for the 50th anniversary, they are reprinting um, a Treasury edition of Superman versus Spider-Man, and also that will be the next crossover anthology book that they'll make, Marvel and DC. So that's pretty big too. I am excited about that. Anything? Let me check really quick. Oh, another couple things. Swamp Thing um is crossing over with Boom Studios. Let's see. Something is Killing the Children by James Tynion the fourth. Uh, and I guess they're gonna call it like Swamp Thing is Killing the Children. And I'm like, that is the most interesting crossover. Haven't read the book, but just to use Swamp Thing and other outside of DC instead of uh, IPs coming into DC is pretty interesting. And the other big one is the list of DC Vertigo titles, which last year they brought it back, but we didn't really see a lot. Um, just to name a few, let's see. These are the titles, whatever I show on screen. These are all new books for the most part, except some are like sequels, I think. You have Bleeding Hearts, End of Life, The Peril of the Brutal Dark, and Ezra Kane Mystery. 100 Bullets, The U.S. of Anger by Brian Azzarello, of course. I believe that, yeah, so that's like a sequel, I guess, or some type of relationship. Black Tower, Necroticius. I wish I said it. Necrotocious by Tom Taylor. Fanatic, The Crying Doll, and A Walking Shadow by all these big names like Ram V, Simon Spurrier, list goes on. Um, but yeah, I'm excited because like I always love Vertigo and these like newer. They're basically like indie books but under DC, so that's always a plus. But let me know if there's anything else that you liked about Near Comic Con updates wise, whatever, even if it's Marvel or any other imprint or any other company, I should say. I'm excited for any feedback or any knowledge that that I don't, because I might focus on DC mostly, but I still try my best to read what's interesting to me. But yeah, see you next time.